What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Laced Up episode. I'm your host, Chase, with my co-host today, Landon, and we have another great episode for you. I can't believe it's already episode 13.
That's
crazy. But starting off, we got Nike's hand-free FlyEase technology is coming to Converse. So if you don't know, Nike owns Converse, and now Nike's bringing some of that FlyEase technology to their Converse sneaker line. So if you guys don't know what the FlyEase technology is, basically it was originally developed for the disability community. And all it is a new technology that allows around the heel cup to be kind of folded and collapsible for easy slip-on the shoes. So now they actually added that onto the classic model of a Converse, featuring that canvas upper that you always see with that new FlyTech heel counter. And it's officially dubbed the Chuck Taylor All-Star CX FlyEase. So, Landon, what are your thoughts on that shoe? And is it a good fit for Converse?
Yeah, I don't know actually about the fit for Converse, but my thoughts on like the FlyEase stuff, I think it's really, really cool. It's very I don't want to say like progressive, but it's just very like inclusive. And you like the stuff that has like, it's got a specific reasoning to help people that struggle to get the shoes on that they want to be able to get on their own. So, I mean, FlyEase in and of itself is a really sweet concept. I just don't know how it works. I guess I've only seen it on athletic shoes. So now seeing it on Converse, I mean, as long as you feel comfortable to like rock it like this, then I mean, it really is all just kind of up to the preference of the person, because like some person's not going to like Nike compared to Adidas. Some person's going to want it on athletic shoes. You might like it on just like kind of regular shoes too. But what do you think about these?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I think it's cool what Nike's doing, kind of expanding, using the technology that they developed and putting on different types of shoes to allow, people with disabilities to try out that footwear. So
exactly,
honestly,
because sometimes it's not about the appearance as much.
Right.
That's something that I kind of have to dial back a little bit whenever it comes to stuff like this, is like, if you are like, oh, I like Converse, but so Converse are tough to get on. They can be. Like, it's a lot of time.
Yeah. They're pretty.
It's not easy, especially mid tops. Or the ones or whatever you call them for Converse, the high top ones. But yeah, I mean, those things can be really tricky and annoying to get on. So I wonder how that because I've only ever really seen it on an athletic material build, how that FlyEase kind of works into like a canvas design, and like if you're using leather, or if you're using like different materials like on the actual shoe.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, I agree. I don't know how it's gonna hold up, because it is originally for like a fly knit kind of upper. So now with this canvas upper, it might handle differently, but it might still be a little harder to get on. I'm not sure, but I think it's still overall a pretty cool thing that Nike's doing.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that the idea is definitely good. I'm wondering who's gonna do it next, because you haven't really seen it. So FlyEase is that's probably been coined by Nike.
Yeah.
So it would just be something different with Adidas or with Under Armour or with whoever. So I'm interested to see how long it takes other brands to do that, though. I mean, at this point, you should never be surprised. It's always Nike first and then everyone else second. But I mean, because that's how it was with NFTs, even though they didn't get theirs out technically first. They were like the first ones to go. Nike's going into the metaverse with Nike Land. It took them a little longer. Maybe they just don't rush as much. I don't entirely know, but they seem to be, the first people onto the scene with most stuff. So I wonder who's going to be, the next one to come in and do it.
Yeah, I had no idea. I would assume Adidas, but I mean, who knows? I mean, New Balance is making some moves, but we'll talk about that moving on. But Landon, what do we got next?
So now we've got a woman has been stabbed at Foot Locker during a shoe release. So a customer at Foot Locker in LA was just viciously stabbed, and it was all over a shoe release. Foot Locker did a release for the Nike Dunks on Wednesday, and there was a line outside the store on Melrose Avenue to get in for these hot new kicks. An eyewitness tells TMZ that there was some argument between two separate parties in the line for the shoes, which sparked to a physical fight leading to the stabbing. So, like you said, you almost did this. I swear we could probably do an article on something like this, every single week. It's just getting way out of hand. It's just out of control. So, I guess this was just all over just a pair of Nike Dunks. And it's hard for me to wrap my head around that now, because whatever the release was, they were probably going for $20 over retail.
Oh, right.
Are we going to agree with that? Like, unless it was like the Pandas. Like, if it was like the Panda Dunks, then maybe you can get, up to 100. But I mean, apparently the stabbing was pretty brutal from what I've seen. Like, she was like rushed to an ambulance, and I'm not actually aware of her condition. It wasn't like really stated or anything about this, but like, what do you think about this story? And I guess, do you see a way around this, or like, is there a better way around something like this happening, or is there just not one?
I mean, the only way is to eliminate all first come, first serve kind of in-store person releases. And then everything just goes into a raffle based and then
bots eat.
And then not even though, because like there's like you could just do in-store raffles and you still have to go and pick it up. So
right.
I don't know. I mean, that's the only solution that I can see, and some retailers are already doing that. So, but yeah, it's sad. I mean, it's sad that we can't just all line up and just hang together and be all excited.
Not even some SB dunk. Not even some dude. There's no love in this game. There's no love in this game. It's the craziest thing, dude. It's like you'll step on someone to get yours. What do you mean? Why do you think everyone shows up that early in these lines and they're all just like, oh, I hope we all get a pair? Yeah. No, you're just like, I want my pair. And if I get the one right before you, I don't care as long as I get my pair.
Jeez.
And that's just kind of the way that it is. It seems like, especially, I mean, that's the way it is online too. It's first come, first serve, as in who can get to the checkout button fastest and who's going to get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand like how you can escalate up to a point where you can you want to stab someone. Like, what was that conversation like? Hey,
someone probably went
do you like the dunks? Nah, I just want to resell them. Boom.
No, because I don't even know what the sequence of events that it was. Like, if she had the dunks and then was stabbed. But the way it sounds like they were waiting outside the store.
Like neither one of them
was
had
stabbed.
Them. Right.
So it's like, oh, you're 5 places in front of me, and I don't think I'm gonna get a pair. I'm gonna go ahead and stab you right now.
Did she cut? I wonder if she cut line.
Oh gosh, I don't know about that.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if that warrants a stabbing still. I can't say that officially would like warrant a stabbing or anything like that.
No, but
I mean, you start to see this stuff just a little bit too often. I remember it might have been, I don't know if we covered it in the very beginning of doing these laced up things, but you remember whenever like, a shoe palace, I think it was, employee was just shot over like, some type of raffle situation. These guys were arguing about a raffle thing outside the store, tried to get involved and help out and got shot. It's like,
yeah, man,
it's
crazy.
It's just a crazy game right now. You hate to see it this way.
I mean, I think the big one was the whole Kanye thing in Chicago. Do you remember that? And they all rolled up in those like
those
tanks.
like, yeah, dude.
And there was just armies of people running behind him as he's throwing out shoes. Like, what kind of that was just crazy.
That was the weirdest thing.
Yeah. Do you remember that? Like, that was real life.
Weirdest thing. That was a real thing.
That was real life.
That is 100% how Kanye would do a release. I think if nothing is evidence of that more than right now, Kanye will just, he kind of does his own thing. Power.
But moving onto a little upbeat more article, we got a computer company, Cooler Master, builds a sneaker-shaped computer. So this is pretty cool. If you are a gamer and a sneakerhead, then this PC was definitely built for you. So this computer company, Cooler Master, built a computer case shaped as a sneaker, and it looks super dope. I mean, they call it the Sneaker X, and this PC case features all the LED lighting that you need and everything that really just to appeal for the sneakerhead and the gamers. So, Landon, what are your thoughts on these renderings that you see for these PC cases?
This is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Right?
This is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Isn't that wild?
Yo, I want one of these, and I don't want a game on it. I want one of these as like an antique. This needs to be on the wall back here. How much do these things cost?
I don't know. They're
gonna be so much.
That's gonna be our stream setup,
dude. That is gonna be so much money.
Can you imagine?
That is dope.
That's
awesome. So cool. I mean, is it like pretty much as effective? Because whenever you're talking about PCs, that's really the bottom line.
Yeah. Well, I know Cooler Master has been in the game for long enough. I'm sure they made it so it runs a computer efficiently.
Runs like fully functionally.
Right. But
dude, that is the coolest thing ever.
I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like, honestly, like when I first saw this article, I was like, oh, they're just making like a cool NFT. Nah, that's like you could put a PC in there.
That's what I'm saying. They need to take this thing, spin it on its head, and Cooler Master needs to turn into a PC specific gaming. Like you can customize what you want your PC to look like. You want it to look like a loaf of bread. You want it to look like the sun. You want it to look like like an apple. Like, you can customize your PC. If you can turn this into a sneaker, which is really sweet, I have a feeling that you could probably do some other creative stuff.
Yeah.
They need to start releasing themed PCs.
Oh, man.
That'd be so crazy.
Cooler Master. If you do, you heard it here first. But
I know, dude.
yeah,
that's my idea.
These things are super sick. I really want one. I think that'd be really cool for like a gaming setup, especially for us.
And I don't even need it for the gaming setup. I'm talking about just like that thing would be cool to have.
I don't know
around.
how big it is though.
It probably is big.
It's probably massive.
It probably is pretty massive.
It's probably this
Most
entire
PCs
table.
are like about the size of this table, right?
Yeah.
In general,
So,
I gotta wonder how much those things are.
yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if they're metaverse shoes.
I know they
what
look. They look like it.
Look like?
They would look something like that.
Something
I feel
along
like.
those lines.
I feel like super
shoes
high
that like
tech.
literally walk for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they just push your feet forward.
Isn't that like a what is that thing? The hoverboard?
Dude, literally at work yesterday with Kyle, the guy was hovering around on a hoverboard. I want a hoverboard so bad.
I have one.
You have a hoverboard?
Yeah.
You don't use it?
No.
I'll buy it from you. Literally, I want a hoverboard so bad. I used to use them at my job all the time, at my old job. Hoverboards are sweet. That dude, this futuristic stuff that you can do. I don't even know if you consider this futuristic because PCs have been around. But, like, you haven't really seen people turn them into stuff.
Nah, usually they're just, like, I have never seen anything like
you
this.
can,
I've seen other creative stuff like that, but they're still, like, rectangles. Like, this is completely out of this world.
100%.
But
that's what I was saying. Like, Nike mags in the metaverse. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be all kinds of different stuff that...
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, it's going to be really sweet. I mean, I just can't believe that they found a way to turn this into something like that. Like,
yeah.
Where does the idea spark from? Because this is, like... just perfect for us. Who would have? I mean, it's not like they made any type of other type of collecting thing. You could have made a PC. Honestly, you could have made a PC that like looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card or a Pokemon card or something because it's at least rectangle.
Yeah.
Like he turned this thing into a sneaker. You had to kind of mold it. You had to get the pieces to fit the sneaker.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy what they can do over there. But moving on, Landon, what's our next article?
All right, so we got basketball's biggest weekend just got more exciting thanks to this sneaker pop-up. So all eyes will be on Cleveland ahead of basketball's most exciting weekend as they host the All-Star festivities. The best players and entertainers in the world are headed to town for a star-studded showdown. And Klarna will be there to celebrate too, putting together a pop-up that highlights some of the most influential sneakers of all time. If you're new to this, Klarna is a way to shop smarter, not harder. Using Klarna to pay means you can purchase what you want and split the cost into 4 interest-free payments. So I'm going to pivot now because I don't want this to sound like a Klarna ad. It is not that. But I had to throw this in there because that is like who this pop-up is around. And, it has a ton of sweet stuff. So I'm just going to like throw some of these things at you and then I'll let you talk after that. So it's not just going to be sneakers on display. People can kind of like measure their skills. They're going to have like a custom basketball hoop set up where you can do like a time challenge. And if you win, you get like access to some exclusive merch designed by Sophia Chang, as well as like, some other prizes and stuff like that. So there are going to be sneakers there though. That's going to be the main attraction. So some of the shoes on display is going to be some game worn Jordans just from like all across the years. And that's going to include some Jordan 12s from the 1997 playoffs, some game worn Columbia 11s from the 96 game, and then even some black cement 4s that he wore whenever he sunk his most famous game-winning shot of all time in Cleveland. So what do you think about this little pop-up then?
I think that's really cool. It kind of reminds me of like the Super Bowl and NFL fan experience. Yeah, kind of bringing it to the NBA. I think it's really cool. I'm surprised NBA hasn't like kind of like partnered up with Karma and made this even more of a thing than just having Klarna just do it. But honestly, I think it's a really cool touch.
That'll
I think
it's okay. I gave him a full ad in the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's okay. I think it's actually a really cool idea from Klarna to do that. I think honestly it'd be really cool to see in person.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I'm sure a bunch of different places do stuff like this, but whenever you get access to you get access to these certain amount of things, and then you can use them to like generate more revenue. Like now that you have these shoes in your possession, people will want to come and see those shoes. People want to drop by. They'll want to see this stuff. They'll want to do, kind of be involved in more of your stuff. And this stuff's really cool. So, all right. So I actually am going to come back to this article and give you a little more information because in addition to all that stuff, all those game-worn shoes, there's also going to be 4 pairs of coveted sneakers on display too. You can have some black cement Jordan 3s, some banned Jordan 1s, the LeBron 10 PS Elites, and some undefeated Kobe 5s. So actually, anyone using Klarna at Stadium Goods over the entire weekend will be entered in to win one of these pairs. So to top it off, all the purchases from this weekend are going to earn you triple Vibe points from Klarna's rewards program. So Vibe members get access to exclusive perks and deals and just different stuff like that. But they're also going to have 4 pairs of shoes. Like I was just saying, that, you know, if you're even using their stuff within that weekend, you get entered in to win one of these like super, super rare pairs of shoes. So I think that's just a cool concept too.
Yeah, I mean, I think Klarna really killed it on this campaign. Yeah, hopefully it does well. But I think more people should be doing this. I mean, 100%. Sneakers are not going away. The hype behind sneakers isn't going away. If anything, it's just getting more and more competitive.
It'll never go away whenever it comes to like basketball, like nostalgia.
Right.
Like,
Especially
Michael Jordan's always going to be bigger than basketball. Like,
right.
So anything along the lines of him, I mean, if you get game worn stuff, autographed stuff like that, I mean, it's going to be, you know, really, really good.
Right. So yeah, it's awesome. Hopefully I could get a pair, but I don't really use Klarna, so. But yeah, whoever does, man, good luck. You have to be in the
Cleveland area.
Oh, okay.
You have to be in the show. All purchases made in the Cleveland area that weekend for All-Star Weekend enter you in for a chance to use it. And then once you do that, and then aside from that, I don't know if you have to pay to do the stuff at the pop-up tent. You probably do. I don't know.
Maybe not.
Like, I don't know. Because there's like challenges that you can like do and you can win stuff. So normally it's just not free. Normally it's nothing.
I don't know. I'm thinking like NFL where like you just can walk in.
Yeah, but didn't you have to pay to do stuff there too?
No.
Not at all.
Nuh-uh.
Huh.
I mean, it is food, but
yeah, the food. But we never did the experience part of it, like the kicking field goals and the stuff like that.
I think we could have. Yeah, I think we just didn't want to wait in line.
Well, I know we didn't want to wait.
Yeah, those lines were
crazy.
But
I just didn't. But I don't know if we ever looked and saw if there was a price along.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But moving on, moving on, you can now. All right.
Hey man, we're struggling in the middle of this podcast.
All right. You can rent an apartment, you can rent a car, and now you can rent some hype sneakers. So in Miami, Brandon Chance, who is a longtime sneakerhead, decided to create his own business called Loan My Soul. It's a digital platform for renting some of the most in-demand sneakers in the market. So he noted that according to leaked documents from Nike, only 3% of the consumers who buy a particular shoe or who want a particular shoe are actually buying it. So Chance quotes, "It's our mission to bring an experience back to sneakers, and we won't stop until the culture that polarizes the sneaker culture isn't roped off and priced out any longer." So his business allows sneaker owners to post their kicks online, set a price, and decide how long they want to rent them out. So Landon, what are your thoughts on renting out sneakers?
Man, this is one of the coolest and trickiest ideas I've heard in a while, because it's really...
Is it viable?
Huh?
Would you rent a sneaker?
Oh, of course.
You would?
Of course. But would I rent this? But would I want the sneaker back as the owner? So I'm looking at it from his perspective, since like we have our own business. How are you trusting? What does this person have to buy insurance on the shoe?
So far, I mean, it's a closed, exclusive beta program that he's in right now, and he said so far the buyers of the shoes said they're taking care of the shoes pretty well. It's just getting, just gently worn every single time, which is good.
Gently worn every time
right.
turns into very worn
over
time.
I mean,
but if you're getting multiple pairs in, I guess that's the way you have to look at it. If you're getting, like, say you get the pair, I don't know what he's renting them out for.
Right.
Like, so let's say, all
right.
Let's talk Jordan. Just talk like a typical Jordan. We'll call it $200.
Okay.
We'll just call it $200. We won't do my Off-White. The Off-Whites are never getting rented out.
Okay.
So, just like a typical pair of Jordans costs $200. So say, I don't even know what a reasonable renting price would be, and like for the duration, is it like $25 a week, or am I just astronomically low? Like $50 a week, $25 a day.
I mean, I guess it's whatever you're worth.
So
right?
once you get the sneaker officially paid off, I guess you don't care as much. So then I guess it'd be a really interesting concept to kind of work around, because then once a sneaker gets more worn, instead of renting it out for $50, you're renting it out for $40 or $30, and now it's a little more worn, so you're renting it out for $25 or $20.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, you got like, that'd be an interesting way to do it. Is you got graders, and like you want to rent a 5-star shoe, a 4-star, a 3, a 2, or a 1.
Like,
I'm gonna rent the Jordan 1 Dior's, but they literally have mud.
Beat.
They're mudding up, and they got cuts on the sides, and it's a 1-star shoe, and it's like, that's honestly, it could work if you kind of do it that way. And we're just kind of spitballing off the top of our head right now.
So okay, for a follow up, obviously, if you're gonna rent it, why would you rent a shoe? For a special occasion?
Oh yeah.
what kind of special occasion would that be for you?
Weddings would be a special occasion. I mean, if you're like, I don't. If people go out, not every single night. Like if I was ever gonna go out to something, like go out to the bar,
like
to
vacation?
the club. Well, vacation would be a good one.
Yeah.
Vacation would be a good one. I was thinking more like, just locally. Like if I didn't drink every single night and I was gonna go out and like party, like someone's birthday.
Yeah.
You're gonna go out and do stuff like that, a nice dinner. Like, yes, imagine pulling up to a wedding, rocking a pair of Dior's. I would have gotten married in those things, 100%. I would 100% have done that.
He's
Dude,
a true
it would have matched my
gentlemen.
gray tux and everything.
Oh man, he would have looked pretty good.
The concept is actually really cool, though. I mean, it's an interesting idea. I'm kind of surprised that no one's really done it before, but I think it is just the whole.
It's
I
tough.
mean, what do you do?
You gotta do it right.
Because you're gonna get. I feel like the problem with this is you're gonna end up with so much customer service issues.
Oh, I mean,
so it's gonna be like, hey, you brought this, like you reach an agreement, but if you bring the shoe back in a worse condition that downgrades it, you have to pay like a fee. It's like,
right.
Hey, it looks like whenever these were in your possession,
it's like a
these
car.
these got a little.
If you rent a car,
I know, right? But I feel like it's tougher on shoes.
You're gonna rent out the
right?
steps. You only can take 2,000 steps in these. Anything over 2,000, we're gonna have to
so
charge you another.
You're talking steps and you literally cannot break it down to steps on shoes. That's just absurd, because not all steps are created equal.
Oh, yeah.
Are we gonna hike up a mountain, or are we gonna walk on the sidewalk?
I don't know.
Hiking up a mountain is gonna get the shoes dirty. It's gonna crease them. Walking on the sidewalk, you can walk 5 miles compared to hiking 1 mile. So I feel like the steps part of it is tough. You just have to grade the condition that it comes back in. And if you want to compare it to a car, I wouldn't equate it to like miles. I would say if someone brings back a scratch on a car where it's your door dinged, or you got a dent in your bumper or something like that, it's like, hey, you have damaged this car. How do you know that you took this shoe from a 4 to a 3 or a 5 to a 4? And then how do you come up that it's like, hey, it looks like while these were in your possession,
there needs to be a grading scale.
While these were in your possession, I think you downgraded them just a little bit, so we're gonna have to go ahead and charge you an extra this amount. And then you can be like, what are you talking about? I took great care of, because who's ever admitted they're wrong? At the gas station, your pumps have a problem.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I think you kind of messed these up. No, I didn't do anything to these. I wore them one time. I barely even had these on my feet.
Yeah.
There's no way I messed these up. I just think you're gonna deal with a whole lot of that. But I mean, the concept is honestly, it's a really cool idea, and I honestly think it's gonna work.
I hope so.
I think it's gonna work. I think it's smart to start, like you said, start off.
What shoe would you rent out first?
Dior's. Probably.
Yeah.
Man, dude. Oh my gosh.
Would you even wear them?
Huh?
Would you even wear them?
If I'm renting them,
yeah,
they're not my shoe. I'm playing basketball in them.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not doing that, because then they're gonna get downgraded.
Yeah, exactly.
Then they're gonna get downgraded too.
It's a $10,000 shoe. You're gonna pay $200 on that fine.
No, yeah. I mean, it's that's what I'm saying. That part of it's really cool.
Intro.
It has to be like, obviously whatever you're renting it out for is going to be significantly less than the retail price. Yeah. Otherwise, his whole mantra of, hey, I want to get these to people, and he said, I'm going with the mags. You're all over those mags today. The mags would be cool too.
That would be cool.
Oh my gosh.
I can imagine renting those
Dude,
out. That'd
I can't imagine, just because then, but it all comes down to what shoes he gets in stock, because it's not like you get to choose whatever shoe you want.
No, it's whatever's available.
I'm going to rent the Louis Vuitton Air Force.
Yeah.
I don't have a pair of those. No. Only 70 people do.
Yeah.
It's like, then it comes down to just whatever shoes you can get in, because not everyone's going to want to rent the just like Chinese New Year Jordan 6s. So like, what if you just have those sitting there,
You never know. But moving on, Landon, what do we got next?
So now we got New Balance has signed Jack Harlow, and he's set to debut a new performance shoe during All-Star Weekend. So ahead of dropping his new single, Nail Tech, Jack Harlow has signed with New Balance as the North American brand's latest ambassador. Over the last 3 years, the Louisville, Kentucky native has expressed his love for the Boston-based company. No word has been disclosed regarding a potential signature sneaker for the rapper yet, but the 23-year-old is set to debut a brand new performance basketball shoe from New Balance during the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game. So it's actually kind of a cool story in this article, because they kind of outline how Jack, like, he wasn't like an outcast, but he was like kind of went against the grain, like wearing New Balance shoes whenever you're in high school. It's not like, it's not the Jordans. It's not going to turn your head like Jordans and Yeezys and stuff like that. But, he was known for like being called the New Balance guy. That's just like kind of what they called him. So from what I can tell, Jack Harlow is here to stay, at least for a while, like as a rapper. So I mean, this dude's really tough. I love a lot of his music. But what do you think about this collab? Or I guess it's not this collab, but Jack officially signing with New Balance, and then now he's going to debut a new sneaker for him.
You know, I'm surprised this hasn't happened earlier. I mean, I thought he was already signed with New Balance.
Yeah,
The amount of times that he mentions New Balance in some of his songs, I was like, either it's a campaign, like New Balance was paying him for that already, but now they're officially signed him. But yeah, I thought this was already happening. So now knowing that it's already, like, now it's actually official is really cool. And I think that what he's gonna do with the brand, I think it's gonna be pretty promising.
And he's got possibilities. Like, it's not outside the realm of possibility that he gets a shoe sooner than later, because Jaden Smith.
Right.
Jaden Smith has his own shoe.
Exactly.
It's not like we're dealing with the brand who New Balance. Honestly, if Jaden Smith didn't have a shoe, I'd be like, well, Jack Harlow just signed his life away to wear New Balances forever. And just whatever comes out.
Right.
It's not like going to be a Jack Harlow this, Jack Harlow that. And then now it could be potentially.
The Harlow ones. That'd be sick.
I don't think he's going to.
The Harlow 550s.
He does play some basketball, though. He's going
to be in the celebrity basketball game.
Exactly. Yeah, no, but he's one of those rappers who like competes in the rapper like 2-on-2 stuff, like with Lil Baby and 2 Chainz.
Definitely. Yeah.
There's some rappers that can hoop, and there's some hoopers that rap. He's probably just a rapper that can hoop. He's not like a hooper that raps. That's like Damian Lillard and Shaq and those guys. Yeah. But no, this is actually pretty cool. So everyone's just like wondering what it's going to be, because the All-Star game is actually tonight. Whenever we air this clip, it's probably not going to be at the timing, so we'll probably know by then. But there has been some speculation that he's going to debut the Kawhi 2s. Some people have shut it down.
I looked into this article too, because I almost did this article, and he said no. I've heard that it's not. I heard it's something completely different.
What did you hear?
I heard it's something different. It's not the Kawhi.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing too. It's probably not going to be the Kawhi. So I mean, it'll be interesting. I don't know what kind of performance shoe, because New Balance did put out the 2-way.
And we were just talking about that too. We're like, man, New Balance is not really into basketball. That's so weird. Like, why aren't they? And then boom, here it is.
Here it is. They're making. I know
they knew it. They heard us.
This is the perfect time to do it. It's really good. It's really good job by them taking advantage of this moment, because he's going to be in the celebrity game. It's not like they have anyone else under New Balance.
Especially if he balls out. Can you imagine if it's a blowout like Zion?
He probably will try, dude. You got like there's 10% of the people in the celebrity game that actually try and want to be there.
Yeah.
And he's going to be in that 10%.
Yeah.
And I like that stuff, because it makes it more interesting. It's pretty fun, because the celebrity game is supposed to be, all fun and stuff like that, but whenever you get a little bit of competition in there, it's
yeah. I don't know. I'm personally excited for this. I'm excited to see what New Balance brings out, because I don't think it's the Kawhi 2. It's got to be something different. And if it is different, guess what? We're going to be reviewing it here. We're going to get our hands on it eventually.
Yeah.
So.
For sure. So I mean, and it's like he seems like someone who's got some fashion, some style to him. So I feel like he could create a pretty cool shoe with New Balance.
Oh, separate from the basketball? I don't think the basketball is his New Balance thing.
No. It's not.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, just separate from that, I think that he's going to be able to create some pretty cool designs, just going forward. Like Jaden Smith, he had a really cool one. What time is it here? Right now it's 9 o'clock. Yeah, we're late, if anything. We're not too early in the morning, but
yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to see that the Harlow 550s or something along the lines of that. Or is he getting a brand new model?
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna get some of each. He's already got
I'm sure they'll start him out with something already, because it's easier.
The Jaden Smith shoe. Every time I talk about it, it actually tugs at my heartstrings, because I want a pair so bad. That when that shoe came out, I was like, that's one of the coolest shoes I've seen.
Yeah, it's so unique.
It's kind of it reminds me of an Air Max, whenever I saw the Air Max 720, and you just got that just big Air Max bubble that just runs across the entire shoe. And I haven't seen anything
those
like
are
that.
wild.
I want those.
Yeah, those were
and
wild.
And I had a pair, and then I sold them to get some of these off-white Jordans, and it was worth it, but it still hurt. It's never easy to cut ties with shoes. Not like what that struggle's like.
No, I rarely do.
No,
but
you don't.
Moving on, we got Lululemon is now getting into the shoe game. So for 2022, Lululemon is launching footwear, and now you can be fully dripped out from head to toe in Lulu. So now there hasn't been any real photos yet, but there is one patent drawing. So that could give you a little good idea of what the shoe could look like. So Landon, what are your thoughts on Lululemon and Lululemon getting into the athletic shoe game?
I think these shoes are going to retail for $900.
You think so?
Yeah, they're shorts, man. They got me on Gymshark because Lululemon's just a little too high class for me right now. It's not going to be for everyone. It's really not that bad. It's like one tier above what I feel like I can afford right now. So, hey, give it a few months at this new job, and maybe I'll be getting Lululemon.
So you don't own anything Lulu?
No, I don't. Yeah, Caden does. My younger brother does.
Does he like it?
It's really nice. Like, he's got like $100 jacket for me.
Right.
But it's literally like $100 like little zip jacket.
Right.
And I think he's got like their joggers are like $130.
Right. Oh yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Those better be like climate controlled joggers. Like I can adjust what I want the temperature of my legs to be.
So you're putting out there. Okay. So all right.
They're gonna
jokes
retail
aside.
for a good amount.
Yeah. What do you think these shoes are gonna retail for?
Like 150, 200.
152. Oh, okay. I was thinking around 200.
Yeah, but like we're talking coming into the game. It's just such a bold move to make a splash like that. Like I'll probably 200. I think 150 is a little too generous.
So, all right. Second question: how do you like the overall model?
The mock-ups.
Mock-up.
The mock-up isn't bad.
This is a patent. So this is not just a mock-up.
So if they wanted to go off.
So this is like a design patent. So it's gonna be in the similar shape as this. So overall,
it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. But I mean, it's not. The thing is, like, what kind of technology are they going to use? I wonder. Because if they're making their first shoe, they got to kind of start from scratch.
Right.
You know, so I wonder what technology you're going to use. And if you're going to charge a lot, like the thing with Fabletics is they use really good quality materials. They use really high quality designs and stuff like that. So you're going to get that on their clothing brands. You know you're going to get some higher quality stuff. Now you're like creating a shoe. Mm-hmm. You got to make sure that it's a success. You don't want to create a shoe, mass produce it, and then it's like not that good.
I'm sure they got a whole team developed to it, but I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think honestly, it's gonna take away from Nike. I don't know if we're ever gonna be going for some Lululemon collabs, but I don't know if it's ever gonna get to that point. But you never know. I don't know
how much they get into the whole collab game.
They should.
Everyone should.
Yeah. I think that'd be cool.
Everyone should. Why would you not want to partner with someone? Because if you're partnering with a collab, rarely are they as big as you are. Like someone's always a little bit bigger, so there's something involved. It makes the big guy look good, and it makes the small guy feel good because you're going partnering with the bigger group. I just feel like that's the way it collabs. They just kind of feed off of each other. But I don't know. I mean, it'd have to be a cool design. It'd have to be a cool theme. I feel like the first place to start whenever you're doing shoes is just like theming them.
Yeah.
Like these are gonna have a SpongeBob theme. These are gonna have like
but
whatever.
You can't do that with Lulu. SpongeBob theme Lulu? That's so off.
It'd be weird. It'd be weird. I don't know what you could do. I wonder if they'll like start signing athletes.
They have one. They already have one.
Do
a tennis star.
Oh, it's a tennis star.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
They have some stuff geared for that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like whenever I was in there, they had like tennis skirts and just different stuff like that. It's a pretty cool store. I mean, you feel like I don't even know how to explain it really. Like it's a cool feeling in there. I've only been to like a few like pop-up stores too. I don't know if they have independent locations.
I think they do.
Some
in like bigger cities for sure. They have.
I would imagine. Yeah. I mean, like their presence is everywhere. It's pretty much between like Lululemon's a pretty common lifting brand. It's not quite as much as Gymshark.
Well, it's kind mostly of women, for sure.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Lulu started as women.
Yeah.
And they branched into men pretty recently. So now they're going to shoes. So now they're just
their
taking
men's
over.
stuff is nice. I mean, it's just like
I personally don't own anything.
It's $80 for shorts compared to like $25 for shorts at some other places, and it's just like,
hey, if it's worth it, it's worth it.
If it's worth it, it's worth it. I mean, everyone's got their taste. Their logo is pretty cool. There's nothing along the lines that would like look weird or anything. Right. So they're at a pretty good starting point.
All right, moving on. Landon, what do we got next?
All right, so we got Jordan Brandt says the Off-White Air Jordan 4 Bread is not releasing. So among many unreleased Off-White Nike sneakers designed by the late Virgil Abloh is a Bread Air Jordan 4, first seen with a group of samples in Abloh's 2019 Figures of Speech exhibit in Chicago. Pairs of unconfirmed legitimacy have shown up from time to time on social media, and there has been speculation that the shoe will drop eventually. Despite the rumors, a Jordan Brand spokesperson tells Complex that Bread Off-White Jordan 4s will remain unreleased. So the source says pairs were created in sample form and only for that, and there are no plans to make them available to the public. So it's a sad day in the sneaker community because, this news is tough. I mean, you kind of expected this, but it pretty much puts like a damper on, what could have been.
Right.
Will they ever release? Will they not? But what do you think about these?
I mean, it's sad. I mean, it's almost like not against Jordan Brand, but it's basically like they killed the legacy now. Like Off-White's done. Like it's officially nail in the head. I don't think any Off-White Jordan stuff is ever coming out.
You don't think they had anything in manufacturing or anything?
So.
I don't know what it would be.
I don't think.
If anything,
do.
I mean, this
and
is
if
one
they
of
did, it was limited and it wasn't ready
and they
to be released.
Stopped making more.
And that was it. So I mean, we're leaving. It seems like these Off-White Air Forces.
That's gonna be our one and only Off-White cop.
Is the last. Man, I know. I think this is the newest. Day? Yeah, I do. I do a lot. I was at the mall and it was furious.
I called him, man. I just called him. I said, I don't even think I called him. I just sent him a screenshot. I was like, you won't even believe it.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's sad. It's sad, man, because Off-White Virgil did so much to like change the sneaker game, and just like that, boom. Like 10 years from now,
he said. Fresh says Off-White's been going downhill these past few years.
I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't even matter at this point because I don't exactly remember what the trend was, what the trajectory of them was. All I know is right now it's up here.
Somewhere.
All I know is right now it's up here.
I'd say like
You think the lot of 50? Do you think that kind of killed some of the Off-White? Doing the 50 Off-White dunks.
A horrible idea.
That might be what you're talking about.
That was a horrible idea. The Vapor running ones.
Those were ugly.
Super bad collab. I don't know who green lighted that. They're
probably
not at Nike either.
We got a pair in. Those things with the spikes, the weird treads.
I've seen them in person multiple times, and I'm like, what are you doing?
You know what I also wasn't a fan of? The Off-White rubber dunks. You remember the rubber ones? They were like black and green. It was like black and green strike. I can show you a picture of them.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I mean, the Off-White rubber dunks just look so weird to me. This is what they look like right here. It's those ones.
Oh, yeah. I think that was the first. Yeah, because everyone was like, "Oh, Off-White dunks are coming out," and we saw those, and we were like,
"It's like, is that even
really?
Off-White dunk?"
What?
And they really didn't do as much. I mean, the price kind of reflected it for a while. Yeah. So I mean, it was just once you finally, officially see that, you're just like, dang. There's like, because it was something to talk about. It's like, is it gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? I mean, it's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, but now, knowing that, like, it's done. Like Nike, Jordan.
I don't know what stuff.
I don't think there's anything else.
Louis Vuitton is the closest thing. We don't even know if that's going to release to the public for sure.
Exactly. Like they might just auction them off, all of them.
Yeah, I mean, they easily could. It was just, who knows how many pairs they had anyways. It surely wasn't that many.
Yeah, but moving on. For second to last article of the show, we got Allbirds is launching their own resale marketplace. So Allbirds, the casual sneaker startup, launches their own resale market where U.S. customers will be able to sell their gently used sneakers to others in their own marketplace. So new Allbirds sneakers retail for around $100 to $130, and now secondhand models are going around $60. So Landon, what are your thoughts on shoe brands basically creating their own marketplace? And you think like the bigger ones like Nike, New Balance, Under Armour, is this a good thing that they should do? Should we start selling on Nike.com, or do you think this is going to hurt brands overall?
I don't know. It's a really interesting concept because it almost kind of ties into whenever we had talked about how Nike planned on opening up their own gently used store, right?
Yep.
Like we had been talking. Is that even still in the works? We haven't heard anything about that for a while.
I have no idea. I bet you that was just an absolute train wreck for just trying to handle all that stuff.
Like defective stuff. What's
just
kind of similar to the
passing
whole renting out
and like even
thing. Fakes
and stuff, because it's harder to know if it's fake or not when it's worn.
Dude, could you imagine buying a fake from Nike? Could you imagine that? It'd be the end of the world, man.
Yeah.
It'd be the end of the world for them. It's like, I literally bought a fake from Nike. So the difference between gently used, we got a question. The difference between gently used and like an outlet is like gently used is just like a condition. Like if you use a shoe, gently used basically pretty much means if you put your foot in it one time.
And walk once.
And like walked.
Yeah.
Like if you've taken a step in the shoe, then it's going to be gently used. An outlet, you're talking like an outlet store, right?
Right. So outlet, all the shoes at the outlet are mostly brand new.
Pretty much all brand new.
I'd say the ones.
Outlets would be
some. So some of the outlet.
Are we keeping it to shoes?
Yeah. Okay. So like Nike outlet, I know for a fact, I don't think sells any used. So what it either is, it's either
something that was returned.
Not return. No, not even returns. I don't think. I think it's mostly overstock goods. You know, Jordans that didn't drop too well. You know, obviously like cashmere dunks or stuff like that, or super old Jordan 5s, or it's B grades. Or B grades.
B grades, like just things that were,
or like display items, like display goods and stuff that they use for promotional marketing. I don't think any of them are ever worn, but they might be B grades. That's the only thing you got to watch out for. Well, and you can tell because if you look on the tongue for like the sizing and everything, it'll have a letter B.
Yeah, they would do that stuff all the time, and then we try and sell. That would happen like whenever we used to go to Burlington and stuff like that, and we'd be like, "Oh, that's weird." They wrote on the tongue. Sometimes we'd sell it and it'd be okay. Like sometimes it would just end up
sometimes
being
it would be good. It would go through. Oh yeah, like that was before the whole authentication through eBay. Yeah. Now that when it's passed, but do you we got another question saying, do you guys see that my Nike to combine outlets with gently used stores? Maybe, I don't know. It's like adding used goods with Nike is such a logistical nightmare for them, because now you're people are shipping used shoes, or like the returns right now are probably getting bought out bulk.
You want to know something else I just thought of that's that could be a really serious problem? Is so I mean, it's unlikely, and it would take the right level of like a store not being closely watched, and it not being, or it being super busy or not busy or whatever. But if you're looking at like used products and stuff like that, and you're shopping around for them, I walk in my Air Force, we'll make it a little bit more realistic. So we'll keep it to Nike. So say like I walk in and pair like a Nike Air Max 1, just something basic, like Nike Air Max 1, like Obsidian, something like that. And there's a used pair there in my size, in better condition. Take them out to try them on, keep them on your feet, put your shoes in, put them back on the shelf.
Oh.
At Burlington, on the shelf before, just walking around shopping, I've seen like a literal pair of just worn shoes. Like someone took off their shoes and they're now on the shelf.
Oh, I'm sure that happens.
I'm sure it does happen, but it would be a lot easier. Yeah. It's like, oh, look, these are my size. I'm going to try them on. You try them on. Oh, these fit really good. Take your shoes, stick them in the box, put it back on the shelf.
Wow.
Now these are used shoes, but now they're supposed to be in good condition. Say it's like, oh, they're normally 120 for retail. We're selling them for 80. And then now you open up this box. These things are beaten all the, just like, oh, this should be going for $30. What are you talking about? You want 80 for these? They go and look. Oh, I don't remember the shoe being that worn.
Yeah.
That'd be a whole. That'd
be crazy.
That'd be a whole nother thing.
Well, then now I just thought, okay, here's the next level. If Nike doesn't let's say Nike does a marketplace, but Nike also verifies the shoes, just like eBay. So they become the authenticator. Do you see Nike ever becoming the actual authenticator, and all the shoes go through Nike and then they go out?
How could it? I mean, how couldn't they just do that like tomorrow if they wanted to?
Yes. I mean, logistically, no, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't take long, but to throw that onto motion, I think there's a certain level of just let other people eat.
Would you pay Nike to verify your sneakers?
I mean, I buy my shoes from Nike. If I buy something, it's like.
But like I sold you a shoe, and you're like, I don't know. Would you pay Nike?
Be interesting.
Like here's some photos, kind of like the
if
check.
If it's a pair of Nike shoes, who is better to go to than the source?
Right.
Who painted this picture? Did you paint this, or go to the artist? Who is better to verify than Nike technically? But I mean, you'd have to get the right people. Like, you can't just work for Nike and be up in their development program, and then you're just like, hey, can you authenticate this for me? I don't actually do that. That's not my field. Like, they would have specialized people for it. They would have certain people within their organization that would be able to.
I think that'd be really cool if Nike did that.
It would be something.
If you could just walk up to any Nike store and be like, hey, can you authenticate these?
I was just saying, bringing it back to this article, Allbirds is making moves. They just had an Adidas collab. Remember, we did that.
That was so weird.
It was
so weird. One. That's like New Balance and Nike making a collab. You're like, what?
New Balance and Nike is not the same thing. New Balance and Nike are very prominent. Allbirds, I don't know quite.
Allbirds is very prominent too. They're a $1 billion brand.
Dude, I just don't see much. I mean, they're probably growing. Are they newer?
Newer for sure. Yeah.
Newer for sure.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know if Nike would ever make their own marketplace. Like, would that be weird? I don't know.
Dude, what do you really need to? Maybe that's what it turns into. Where do you want to focus your energy?
Because then Nike can make all the commission on every single sale, like eBay. Like, why sell on Nike or why sell on eBay when you can sell directly on Nike.com?
It'd be kind of cool to do that, wouldn't it?
Right?
To feel like you're selling on Nike.com.
Yeah.
Oh, where do you sell your shoes, Nike?
Yeah. You're
Sell
like,
my
what?
shoes to Nike. What are
You
you
sell
talking about?
Nikes?
You sell
on
your
Nike?
Nikes to Nike? Technically.
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be crazy.
Theoretically speaking.
But moving on for the last article, Landon, what do we got?
All right, so it is time to end this episode with the segment Cop or Drop, where Chase and I will look at some of the scheduled upcoming releases and just give our opinion on the design. So, we do have some shoes finally dropping all over the place now. So we're actually going to turn back the clock to yesterday. And what do you think about the Nike Dunk Low Siempre Familia?
Drop. Don't like him at all.
Really?
Yeah. Short and sweet.
Definitely a cop.
Really?
I'm surprised you don't like these. The color scheme's a little bit weird now that I look at it again with the green.
Camo? Like camo?
It's got like a tropical vibe. I wouldn't call that camo. Not super camo. It's camo-ish, which makes me a little nervous. But the rest of the colors, like on the Nike swoosh, you got like the.
If they swapped the colors and made the
that
base
would
teal
be dope.
and the green swoosh, I'd be a cop for sure.
That would be nuts.
Yeah.
You got the little palm tree back there too.
That'd be sick.
You're
That'd be super sick if
you're not really
they
from
swapped
Florida,
the
are you?
colors.
Where are you from?
From Florida.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Not if you don't like these shoes.
Those are camo shoes.
No, dude. If they were camo shoes,
You lose them in the grass.
you're talking
bro.
to me. I would have been off these from the jump.
Nah, it's a drop.
All right,
It's
whatever.
a drop.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and throw a few Jordan models at you. So this is actually a new one. How do you like this Air Jordan 1 Low Elevate bread design?
Awful. This is horrible. Why would you do this to the Jordan 1 Low?
There's gotta be a reason.
Who wants?
I didn't look.
I never said to anyone, I need to be taller, and I need a bigger midsole.
Fresh set in the right fit, that dunk would slap, and I agree.
Oh,
But,
obviously.
yeah, no. As
but
for this Jordan
no,
1,
this is a drop.
the Jordan 1,
Why?
Elevate design
It's
is
so dumb.
It's got to have a reason to it.
So dumb. I
It's
don't
gotta have
know.
a
I don't.
reason.
It's like platforms are coming
I
back.
know it's not to the extent of like a fly ease purpose, but I think there has to be a reason for doing this.
No, it's not for any disability.
I know it's not for a disability specifically. I said there's got to be a reason to do this.
Would you cop
Otherwise,
these?
No.
Okay.
No, of course. This is a drop.
It's horrible.
It's interesting. It's
These
a
are going to
women's
be on the
shoe.
outlets. Fresh, go check them out.
These probably will be in the outlets.
No, no one's going to buy these. No one wants. It doesn't
Well,
look
it's-
good at all. Unless it's an absolute cloud and massages my foot with that amount of midsole. And it's just like amazing to wear, but I doubt it.
That's just, hey, first saying you could be 6 feet tall in these things. These
Oh.
things are going to make you taller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I
It's like
need a-
wearing.
need a
no.
little more than that.
Yeah, that's.
It's not going to
You
do
got to
it.
look like a clown while being. You're going to be a taller clown.
A
Nope.
taller clown. It's not
Moving
great.
on.
It's
Moving
not
on,
great.
Landon.
All right, so
Give me something better.
sticking with the same type of color scheme, what do you think about this Air Jordan 3 Cardinal Red?
These
that
are
releases
so
tomorrow?
nice.
Yeah.
These are so nice,
Air
man.
Jordan
These
3
are
Cardinal Red.
cop. These are cops. Like, people are gonna go nuts for these, especially since that whole Eminem Jordan 3 came out with his
The
custom.
shadies.
Oh man, these things are nuts.
Dude, oh, you know it, man. Growing up in St. Louis, or near St. Louis, I guess.
These would be the perfect
my
shoes for
Cardinal Reds, dude.
that. Game
These
day.
things are
These would be the game day shoes.
These are beautiful.
Tumbled white leather.
We gotta get these things in hand.
Oh, I want a million of them.
We gotta get these things in hand. Those things would be so nice to check out. It's just the Air Jordan 3 is just such an easy model to wear. I honestly used to be really down on it.
I don't know. It's definitely grown on me. Ever since we
Mhm.
started shoewear, it's definitely grown on me like a mid top.
I attribute
I would
all of
honestly
my
probably wear a 3.
all of my Air Jordan 3 love comes from the Fragment Jordan 3s. Fragment Jordan 3s had the big lightning bolt design on the back of them. The big fragment design on the back. It was
Those were
literally
clean.
black and white.
and
No,
they bricked.
tanked.
Yeah,
They bricked.
those were super
They
clean.
bricked
I
so
remember
hard, but
those.
I think it was just a little too basic. Whenever they
Yeah.
came out, like maybe people wanted.
Yeah,
a
they
little
didn't
bit
have
more.
any elephant. I think they didn't have any.
No, they
elephant
didn't. It was
print.
white and black.
Yeah.
It's just straight white and black. They made it pretty simple, but I thought that they were super nice.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I
it's
did too.
it's definitely a really clean design.
Yeah,
but.
I'm excited. I want those so bad.
All right, so in honor of this restock tomorrow, I will end it with this Yeezy 500 blush colorway. What do you think about these?
500s.
Top or drop? What do you think about these?
I'm gonna go with a cop. I would cop these.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good choice. We actually had the only one you missed this week was the dunks.
Yeah, that's a
You were right
obviously
on
drop.
with the elevate, no. But these ones are a cop just because we're, keeping it within the 500 model is pretty good. It's like not anything special, but it's pretty good. So this colorway being neutral, it's got like a little bit of a pinkish tint. I think it'd be nice.
I think it's all right.
500s are. I mean, you went with the cop. You feeling a little bad about that decision now?
It's not worth a drop or a cop. It's like they're
You'd be like-
nice.
you just like be like enter into Adidas confirmed and not actually go for 'em.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's
and
like,
be kind of
I'm not
disappointed
gonna
that I
try
got
and
them.
get them, but I'm gonna enter in, and if I win them this way, like I'm not gonna say no.
Right.
I'm not
It's
gonna.
like
I'm
if
not
you
gonna,
gave them to me
I'd wear
and I
them.
paid them.
Actually, I haven't
probably
even
wear
worn
'em.
500s much, so it doesn't have the boost, but apparently it is a comfortable model. I've seen multiple people say it's like the comfiest Yeezy.
Really?
don't know
Over
how that would be.
350?
Over 350s, over 700s that have the boost. Over
Interesting.
like
That
I
doesn't
have
make any
seen
sense to
multiple
me.
people say that.
But
So I don't know. I
so
mean,
I'm gonna go with a comp, but it's a very close drop.
It's a slim, but you're closer to cop than drop. Is what it
Yes.
sounds like.
So that's why I'm going comp.
Sounds like a fair reasoning to me. Well, that's actually going to wrap up this episode. But thank you guys for taking some time to watch. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.